Yes?
Yes?
Got something on your mind, dude? No, I never did I? Elusive? Me elusive? Obviously, you've never tried to grab a Twi'lek dancing girl after drinking too much Onderan Willick juice. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on. To bed! I'm old and tired, you know. How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And then there's all the critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask? So I could. Well, not having a ship does tend to put a damper on that kind of idea, however. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued. Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you. But, I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick. I'll remind you that you're the one who started pumping me for information. Like an old man doesn't have anything better to do. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. And that can be all bad. Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day. Nonsense. If I ever refused to help you when you asked, how confused can one person be anyway? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? You're too young to be so talkative. Shoo!
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Please don't let him go to jail for a crime he didn't commit. What? Don't insult us both. Sunry is a just and honorable man. How dare you accuse him of such a thing?
Now, Elora. We're not here to pass judgment, my dear. We do need to know everything if we're here to help, yes?
Yes, he was having an affair. He was seeing that Sith woman. After all these years we've been together, he just dropped me like that. Not publicly, oh no. But inside, that's what it feels like. He started seeing Alasa last year. I had my suspicions for a while, but he was careless. Pretty soon everyone knew. But even though I'm sure that harlot was only using him, I know he couldn't have killed her. He came and confessed to the affair to me. He said he was going there to break it off, to end it. maybe the Sith woman attacked him and he had to defend himself. But even though he cheated on me, inside he's still the man I loved. Love. He's too kind and gentle to have killed her in cold blood. That was a long time ago, in a war far, far away. He's changed now, settled down. Oh, just please, prove his innocence.
Jolee, coming to check in on an old man? I must confess, I would rather you were here to speak to the warden and begin my trial.
Soon, old friend. We don't want to go to trial until we've got the whole picture.
Oh, I grow weary of staring at these four bare walls. But I suppose you know what you're doing. You know, the role of arbiter cannot be taken lightly. Well, you know I was having an affair with Elasa. I went there to break it off that night. Well, I can tell you it wasn't easy. She was young and beautiful. But I love Elora. I knew I had to do it. I broke it off quickly as I could, and then I left. I found out later she'd been murdered when the Selkath authorities came knocking on my door. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. A Rodian? I didn't know there were any Rodians on Manaan. Oh, except for Tyvark and this one named Glupar who was hanging around the hotel all the time. Okay, so maybe there are a whole bunch of Rodians on Manaan. But what does that matter? If he planted evidence at the scene, it's a clear sign of a frame-up. He probably took all the evidence of the real killer at the same time. The evidence of a Sith conspiracy keeps getting stronger, doesn't it? I suspect there's still stuff you want to clear up. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. So the truth is out. I never meant to kill her, you know. When I found out she was a Sith spy using me to gain information, something inside me just snapped. She didn't know I had found out. So I waited until she fell asleep. And then I killed her. Simple, really. But once I realized what I'd done, I panicked. I contacted those spies from the Republic to help me. They found the illegal monitoring device that the Sith had planted in the room, altered its recording to hide my part in it, and cleared up the evidence. I figured that was the end of it. The Sith must have been spying on me and Elasa, trying to make sure she wasn't a double agent. They must have seen the Republic spies getting rid of all the evidence, and so they planted their own evidence. Elasa must have stolen that hero's cross from me long ago and given it to her Sith masters like some kind of trophy. I just thought I'd misplaced it. But when the cross turned up on her body, I knew the Sith had put it there. So, now you know the whole story. What are you going to do?
But Sunry is a murderer. I'm sorry, old friend, but you are. I can't approve of this. You go ahead, however, if that's what you think is best.
I'm glad you decided to see reason in this. If I'm convicted, it could cause trouble for the Republic Embassy here on Manaan. And none of us want that now, do we?
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want, too. The Sith woman, Elasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court. No way I'm lying to the court just because you want to get your Republic buddy off or whatever. I have no interest in going to prison. That's a lot of money. Maybe I could do something for you then. All right, I'll do it. I'll tell the Selkath that he left before the shot went off. But this is our little secret. If you try and turn me in for lying, I'm making sure you come with me.
I guess this is what they call working the system. Not that I'm objecting. I just hope the Selkath don't find out about it.
Now, was there anything else you wanted? Well, okay. If you need anything else, I'm gonna be right here.
Have you managed to retrieve the data from our droid in the Sith base? Excellent. It does not appear to have been tampered with, so the Sith did not manage to copy its contents yet. And now for your information. We are not supposed to speak of this, but since you are a Jedi and we have exhausted all the other options, I think I can entrust you with this. As you know, the Republic is fighting for its very existence against the evil of the Sith Empire. As you also undoubtedly know, we're doing very poorly. We need much in the way of supplies and material to stem the tide of battle and bring us victory. Manaan is the sole source of kolto, the most powerful medical substance in the galaxy. Frankly, we need as much of it as we can get. The Selkath conservatives, with their neutrality treaties, seek to treat the Sith and the Republic equally. This includes kolto exports, but a few more far-sighted Selkath see that if the Sith are ever allowed to win, the galaxy will be plunged into darkness, and there would be nothing to stop them from taking Manaan anyway, so we made a deal. We recently began construction of a secret underground facility to harvest kolto directly at its source. We also hope to one day be able to synthesize it effectively. Current techniques are insufficient for the task, so we must mine it for now. The amount we take would hardly be noticed, since most is lost naturally before it reaches the surface anyway. We were nearing completion of the base when the digging teams reported some sort of obstruction. An ancient building or artifact, possibly your star map. Transmissions from the base were cut off abruptly after that, and we haven't heard from the station since. As you may have noticed, we're hiring a lot of mercenaries around here. Ostensibly, they're to be shipped off-world to aid in our fight against the Sith, but they're really for another purpose. When we lost contact with the station in the Rackard Rift, we sent our contingent of Republic soldiers down to investigate. None returned. We've tried hiring mercenaries and sending them down as well, but none of those expeditions have returned either. The reason we really sent that droid underwater, and the reason we needed its data back so badly, was to find out what happened to the Rackard Rift station. But now that we have the data back, our operation is in no danger of exposure to the Sith. And now I must live up to my end of the bargain. I took the liberty of having a submarine prepared for your departure. Merely use this card to get past the door behind our kolto packing room and enter the sub they're in. It has been programmed to take you down to the station, and also to take you back up should you need something. I would send soldiers to assist you, but we've lost many of ours, and nearly exhausted the mercenary population of this planet. The soldiers we have are barely enough to keep this base secure. The Sith have also noted our interest, and begun to bribe mercenaries away from us. Please, find out what happened to the facility. There may be some survivors left down there. Perhaps even the head scientist, Kono Nolan. Good luck in your efforts.
No. I'll rot in here if I have to. But I won't betray the Republic. Do what you have to. But know what the consequences will be.
Todos des, tanes die Godos It is an honor to see justice served, and I will see Sunry is executed for the crime he has committed.
The man I saw leaving, Sunry, left before I heard the blaster shot.
Impossible! You are feareth me, the well-known Pazak player. I wonder if we can trust the word of a gambler as reliable testimony. Of course, Your Honor. Feareth me. What did you see the night of the murder?
Well, I came out into the hallway after hearing the blaster shot and saw Sunry over there limping down the hall out of the building.
A very obvious point, Your Honors. The accused was seen leaving the scene of the crime after the blaster that killed Elassa was fired.
You mean actually see him kill her with my own eyes? Well, no, but I don't think there could have been anyone else there. I think it may have been. I mean, you'd have to be pretty stupid to leave something that important lying around, wouldn't you? Yes, from what I could tell. She carried a lightsaber under that cloak of hers.
Objection! That doesn't prove she was a Jedi. Glupor the Rhodian, you were staying in the hotel the night of the murder and saw Sunry leaving Elasa's room, didn't you?
Glupor jiking mata Sunry mulira. King kunjupa siya glupor. No ba mulira sit jilay kungka.
This is clear, then, that Sunry left the room with the Sith Elasa already dead behind him.
Glupor tang hiwa maji glupor aki unkotun sit. Glupor no mulira chuni mulira tang Sunry. King ba no konik dorcha. Chubaka chopa glupor. Chawa whiskey sit. Glupor ka chopa chawa wisyun kun. Ogra shok chong kanti cha hudro. Glupor kan king davik nibora tong chitsa. Glupor.
Don't do it, Glupor.
Glupor kan king davik nibora tong chitsa.
Lies! Slander! I object!
Glupor wonky.
You, Elora, are Sunry's lawful wife. Your husband was a hero in the last war between the Sith Empire and the Republic. He was crippled in that war. Do you not believe he'd blame the Sith for his injury?
Yes, I guess he would.
And there you have motive. Sunry seeks revenge on the Sith for what they did to him and killed Elasa.
Yes, it was true. He was having an affair with that Sith harlot.
It seems painfully obvious that he killed her to keep her quiet about the affair.
He'd been seeing her for some time, I think. But he said he was going to change. He'd gone there that night to end it. We talked the night before and he'd promised. But now things have become so very complicated.
I wish to call forth Sunry himself, Your Honors. Are you a war hero, Mr. Sunry? You fought in wars against the Sith Empire, correct?
Yes, that's right. And I don't regret it either. The Republic needs its heroes.
Indeed. Would you say that you dislike the Sith? Even hate them?
Of course I hate them. Trying to take over the galaxy every chance they get, killing millions of innocents?
Pure politics. Were you in Alassa's room on the night of the murder?
Well, yes, I was. I had been having an affair with Alassa and my wife, yes. But I realized how wrong I'd been, and I was going there to end it.
You were having an affair with a Sith. You wanted to end it quickly and quietly, so you killed her from behind and tried to flee.
No, I
think we can see the answer clear enough, Mr. Sunry.
I don't know. The medal had gone missing some time ago. I never found out what happened to it. It's possible the Sith had stolen it and had it planted on the body.
Supposition, Your Honors?
Yes, I think they would. They wouldn't want to lose one of their sources, even though I didn't give them anything. They might have killed her for her failure. Or they might have thought she'd turn against them or something like that.
The Sith Empire is not the barbaric institution you portray it to be. I think the facts in this case are very straightforward. Sunry was having an affair with Elasa. He sought to end it, and the simplest, quickest method, given his hatred of the Sith, was to simply kill her. Witnesses saw Sunry fleeing the scene, and material evidence places him there at the time of the murder as well. I am confident that any informed observation of the facts will lead the judges, Your Honors, to this very conclusion. Oh, that doesn't mean a thing. He was there, running from the room. The Sith would not leave the medal of her killer clutched in her hand. Your Honors, no!
Oh, Sunry, I'm so glad.
Elora,
We have done all we could for you, old friend.
thank you for saving me. I don't know how I can repay you. Elora and I are going to leave here and get as far away from all this as soon as we can. I and the Republic will not forget what you've done for us. Thank you.
Got something on your mind, dude? Innocent. I don't know what to make of it, to tell the truth. Do you think justice has been done? I see. I am not so sure. If he did kill that woman, Sunry's going to have to live with that on his conscience. And if he's justified her death in his mind, well, Sunry was a good man once. I only hope that is still the case. I enjoyed his company. I don't want to talk about this anymore. My jaw aches.
How much for all this stuff, Tyvark?
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune chunamuri ra. Tangi wama jiko na. Tonki pa nonku nek abog.
Thanks, Tyvark. Catch you next week. Now I gotta get back to my post at the Republic Embassy. My break is almost over.
Uchua penki. Tangi wama ji human act in ikatune. Chi ita kanki chana kilikon. Chiwa aita kanki. Chiwa aita kanki chana chupornibo. Kun muli ras limo poiwanga. Tangi tuama ji human act in ikatune. Tong hi tuama ak inkotune. Por tong hi wama ji aki inkotun. Tong palokun nonek. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Ki mulira kun kin. Kimba no konik dorcha.
Good race, Sector Champion. I guess you'll be off to the big tracks once the circuit is back up.
puntasta sieltä vapuilta. Ja puntas linnatufta. Kolotus divan revu, nikelti remote, tenfusi porovan. Tuoda. Tuntus plakvan nivokelfa, oisidan kelfa van inukan kelfa. Kolotus divan revu, ufta kelkis.
This entrance to the Sith embassy has been closed temporarily due to a maintenance failure. The main entrance to the embassy will reopen when the problem has been fixed. What? How did you... This unit has no knowledge of what you're talking about. Those with legitimate business with the Sith should return when the repairs have been completed.
Got something on your mind, dude? Did I say that? Strange the tricks memory plays on you when you get older. Didn't I say that my past was my affair? You don't see me poking and prodding you with questions, do you? I might be, but a mouthy young thing like yourself shouldn't get to call me an old coot, damn it. And besides, you don't really want to hear about me. We're talking ancient history, probably before you were born. History bores kids. Proven fact. Oh, fine, fine. Have it your way. Just don't cry about it later. Yes, I was an adventurer. Happy now? I wasn't even done with my Jedi training back then. I had a full head of hair and an eagerness to see absolutely everything. Sound familiar? The Council was never happy with willful, brash Jolee Bindo, you see. Even less so when I began my smuggling career. Don't look at me like that, damn it. I wasn't always the wrinkled coot I am now, you know. I can still fight, too. So wipe off that smirk I see there. At the time, the Yukata system was interdicted by its own king. He preferred to keep his people starving and poor, all the better to oppress them. The Senate was trying to negotiate a peace, but they were getting nowhere as usual. I decided I wasn't going to wait. I found myself a ship and a partner, and we began smuggling food and supplies to the Yukata citizenry through the blockade. Well, we didn't buy all the equipment per se. Some were happy to donate goods. Some we just knew had more than they could use. Stole is such a harsh word. They would have donated those goods readily enough if they were compassionate. I considered it a tax on the greedy. We only got caught once. A lone Yukatish frigate shot us down and forced a crash landing. I thought the force had abandoned me, as I remember. Well, as it happens, getting shot down turned out to be very fortunate. That day was the day Well, that was the day I met my wife. You know another way to get a wife? But yes, that's when I met her. If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to stop talking now. My mouth is starting to draw flies. Got something on your mind, do you? Well, I suppose I can whip up something, a few herbs and such. You do know that the best alternative is not to get hurt, right? Well, not to say that you go leaping into the path of blaster fire or anything, but I know how you young people get. Here, take it. Got something on your mind, do you? I don't want to talk about that. Maybe, but I doubt it. I'm made stubborn that way.
Ah, so we meet again, Canderous. It has been quite a long time.
Jagi? He was a warrior under my command up to the Battle of Althir. But I thought...
You thought I was dead, didn't you? You thought all of us that you had sent on that attack had perished. You sent us to die in a foolish attack, while you directed your forces elsewhere. You broke from the battle plan and let us die for it, so that you could have the honor of being the first to kill the enemy commander.
I did what was prudent at the time. If I had not done it, the battle would have...
The battle would have been won anyway. I am tired of your excuses, Canderous. I have spent years tracking you down since the clans were banished, and I will not rest until I've had my vengeance. I challenge you, Canderous. I challenge you to fight the fight you fled that day above Althir, in the dune seas of Tatooine. I will be waiting for you. I have spread the news of the challenge since I learned you had landed on this world. All the surviving Mandalorian clans know of what I do here, and that we shall meet on Tatooine to settle this debt of vengeance once and for all. If you fail to meet me there, you shall be stripped of all honor and forever cast out of our society. It will be you and me alone in the dune seas of Tatooine. A final battle that can only end in death. I shall be waiting for you there, Canderous.
What?
What?
I've been given a challenge I can't ignore. We've got to go to the dune seas of Tatooine, so I can find Jagi and kill him for his insult to me. This is between me and Jagi. You don't have to get involved. If you're lucky, he might spill something before I spread him in a paste over the dunes.
Hakupa Chekopa? Gino Mulira Kingpaija Kislimu Poduama? Runda di Hotonga kun Hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching balamule tunking ba nunotek. Tugnin chatukune mulerabes. Ka chikun ita hodonga. Yiking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodonga ku hunkabe. Muchashak bakhat. Kiyeno no namapaule rachikun. Jedabadwana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea.